You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
The County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, 1331 North Fabens Street, Fabens, Texas 79838. Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, 191 Canutillo Avenue, Canutillo, Texas 79835. Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, 14698 Van Lane, El Paso, Texas 79938.
District Attorney Jaime Esparza invites you to join the annual 10-mile walk across El Paso to commemorate victims of crime. The walk is Sunday, October 1st, and begins at the El Paso County's Courthouse, 7 a.m. and ends at Yucca Park. For registration and more information, call 915-546-2091 or visit www.epcounty.com/walk.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048. Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Danny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
The 346th District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119 or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched the prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings! Financial Recovery is a division under the Budget and Fiscal Policy Department. The Financial Recovery Division regains monies from those who have exhausted resources throughout the judicial process. The authorization for the recovery of spent resources is by court order. These are resources initially funded by taxpayers. Financial Recovery Division's goal is to assist in making the county and taxpayers whole by replenishing funds into the budget to optimize services to the public. For more information, please visit the El Paso County website.
It's Monday, August 7th, 2017. Commissioners Court is meeting in regular session. Will you please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Pietzig, at the request of the Budget Office, can we please move up items 6 and 18 so they can meet their publication deadline?
Certainly, Judge. Thank you. Regular Agenda Item 6. Pursuant to the Property Tax Code, Section 2605D, propose a tax rate for the El Paso County Hospital District doing business as University Medical Center of El Paso, UMC. It is the recommendation of the Board of Managers of UMC that the court propose a tax rate of 0.251943 per $100 assessed value, which consists of a rate of 0.195064 per $100 assessed value for the purpose of maintenance and operations, and a rate of 0.056879 per $100 assessed value for the purpose of payment of principal and interest of the debt of the district.
Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. Jacob Cintron, President and CEO of UMC, and Michael Nunez, CFO for UMC. In accordance to and in compliance with the discussions we had at the two previous work sessions for our budget, we would ask that this motion be presented and approved to modify our tax rate to move a bond issue from M&O to INS in accordance with our proposed FY18 budget.
Great. Commissioners, so we went over this through two budget workshops. Jacob and Michael have a PowerPoint to go over it one more time, or we can go directly into the vote. It's really your pleasure. Commissioner Haggerty, I know you missed because you were out of town, but I believe Mr. Cintron called you and walked you through it and briefed you, and you got a copy of the presentation.
Correct. We spoke while I was out of town, as well as we had a meeting this morning prior to the court. So I do not personally need it myself.
Okay. All right, commissioners. All right. So I would move to propose a property tax rate for the El Paso County Hospital District, doing business as University Medical Center of El Paso, of 0.251943 cents per $100 assessed value for the 2017 tax year. I'm sorry, that should be the 2018 tax year, right, Wally?
No, that's a 2017 tax year, but it's for our 2018 budget year.
Okay.
Correct.
For the 2017 tax year, which consists of a rate of 0.195064 cents per $100 assessed value for maintenance and operations, and a rate of 0.056879 per $100 assessed value for payment of the principal and interest on the debt of the district. I further move to schedule and publish notice for two public hearings to hear public comment on the proposed tax rate as follows. The first public hearing is to be held Wednesday, August 16th, 2017, at 6 p.m. in this room, the Commissioners Court Chambers, 3rd floor, room 303, El Paso County Courthouse, 500 East San Antonio Avenue. And the second public hearing is to be held on Monday, August 21st, 2017, at 6 p.m. in the Commissioners Court Chambers, 3rd floor, room 303, El Paso County Courthouse, 500 East San Antonio Avenue.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
No.
That was a no. Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
No.
No. And Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wally, the date of the final vote?
Judge, the final vote on both the UMC tax rate and the county tax rate is scheduled for August 28th here in this room on a Monday, same time.
Okay.
Thank you. Moving on to Budget and Finance, item 18. Pursuant to the Property Tax Code, Section 26.05D, propose a tax rate and pursuant to the Local Government Code, Section 140.010E, schedule public hearings on the proposed tax rate. Further, approve and authorize the publication of all statutorily required tax, budget, and public notices related to the fiscal year 2018 in the El Paso Times.
Mr. Hardgrove.
Good morning.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you very much, Judge. Everyone's been very, very kind today. Awesome. We should have a budget hearing today. Today, we are also proposing the tax rate for the County of El Paso. The advertisement is on the board in front of you. The proposed rate is merely setting the ceiling on the tax rate for the County of El Paso at our rollback rate, 0.495178. Our publication differs from the hospital district as it falls under local government code, statute 140. But this rate is going to be used to generate additional revenue that's attributable to contractual software increases in our utility costs, our collective bargaining contract for salaries and fringe benefits, our equipment maintenance agreements, and the consideration for increased mobility projects and potential flood control needs. This merely sets the ceiling on the tax rate. We have had a full week of budget hearings last week. We have a full week of budget hearings scheduled for this week. And I'm pretty confident that the final rate will come in under the rollback tax rate, but this just sets the maximum a tax rate could be before we have to petition an election. Similar to the hospital district, our first hearings would be on the 16th. Our second hearings would be on the 21st. We would be at 5:30 just before the hospital district.
Thank you, Wally. And I just want to make absolutely clear to everyone watching at home, everyone in the audience, everyone listening, the publication of the rollback rate as the ceiling does not mean in any way, shape, or form that we are going to the rollback rate. We are actually in very good shape this year as an organization, and we will finalize our tax rate, as Wally said, by the end of the month. So, Commissioners, any questions or a motion? I'll move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
I just want to make sure everybody agrees, we are not setting this rate. We will not be in any way, shape, or form voting for a tax rate of a rollback rate, so aye.
Judge, I would just ask before you vote, can you read the full motion in, because that sets the M&O, the INS, and it sets the official
You know
hearing
what, you're
dates.
right, I'm so sorry.
Thank you,
I failed
Judge.
to do that. Let me do that. Thank you for reminding me. So here's my motion. I move to propose a property tax rate for El Paso County of 0.495178 cents per $100 assessed value for the 2017 tax year, which consists of a rate of 0.447230 per $100 assessed value for maintenance and operations of the county, and a rate of 0.047948 cents per $100 assessed value for the payment of the principal and interest on the debt of the county. I further move to schedule public hearings to receive public comment on the proposed tax rate as follows. The first public hearing is to be held on Wednesday, August 16th, 2017 at 5:30 p.m. in the Commissioners Court Chambers, 3rd floor, room 303, El Paso County Courthouse, 500 East San Antonio Avenue. The second public hearing is to be held on Monday, August 21st, 2017 at 5:30 p.m. in the Commissioners Court Chambers, 3rd floor, room 303, El Paso County Courthouse, 500 East San Antonio Avenue. The court will also meet to approve the 2017 property tax rate on August 28, 2017 at 9:30 a.m. in the Commissioners Court Chambers, 3rd floor, room 303, El Paso County Courthouse, 500 East San Antonio Avenue. So that's my motion, and am I the last one?
Yes.
Pat?
Yes, you are, Judge.
So
Thank
my
you.
vote is an aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, we can move back to taking items from consent.
Thank you, Judge. The consent agenda is composed of items 3A through 3I. It's been requested by Mr. Miguel Hernandez from the County of El Paso Housing Authority to pull item 3H for discussion. That is the quarterly report from the Housing Authority. Are there any other items that members of the court or the public would like to consider separately, please?
Commissioners, anything else to take from consent? If not, is there a motion to approve the remainder of the consent agenda, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to item 4, public comment.
We have one member of the public
And
signed
I
up.
have another sign-in sheet too, Judge.
Okay, our first speaker is Elia Garcia. Ms. Garcia? Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. I thank you for allowing me to speak to you all this morning. My name is Elia Garcia. I'm a resident of the city of Socorro, and as you all are aware, we have reoccurring issues with the floods. I'd like to thank Commissioner Perez for going out there and to visit, but more than anything, I'd like to urge the commissioners to please look and explore different options to resolve this issue. Every year, those houses get flooded. There's mud inside the houses. The people are forced to leave their households. Their lifetime belongings have been damaged. And so the city of Socorro at this time, because it is private property, is tied down to do anything. But the issue isn't there. It doesn't arise there. It's due to the construction north of I-10 with the new houses and the new construction. There's excessive water that's running off into this property. And so I strongly urge you to please look into various remedies so we can stop this every year. It's getting worse, and the citizens of Socorro are highly affected. They're forced to leave their houses.
Ms. Garcia, thank you so much for coming down to the courthouse to share your concerns with us. I'm going to use this opportunity as public comment. We can't engage, but I do want the public to know a couple things because I've gotten some similar questions over and over again. Unfortunately, we cannot go on private property. I know that's been a source of tremendous frustration for a lot of our residents, especially in Clint, where the mudslides have been just incredibly tragic. But I do want to thank our Public Works Department. They're doing everything that they can. I do want to assure you also that we are, for the first time in our budget, we may be able to set aside some funding. We're going to need collaboration and cooperation from all the jurisdictions because it's a shared problem. I think you're absolutely right about development that's happening very quickly, and that is pushing water into existing arroyos, creating new arroyos. I think I was reading an article about the, comments made by Al Gore about the flooding in Houston, for example, that they're now experiencing 10,000-year floods. And we have to be prepared for more catastrophic weather going forward and figure out what we can do, because it is very tragic what's happening to families like yours in Socorro and Clint, and to our own assets in San Elizario. Also, I've been asked many times why I haven't declared a disaster. We have a very high government threshold of $3 million in property damage before a disaster can be declared. So I just wanted to, share some of that information with the public, but I want to thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And Judge, also just, our road and bridge crews have been working very hard. Just as a matter of public comment, I want to thank them for all of their work. And just to reassure
many of the residents. I know that there are some areas like in Socorro that have gotten worse over the years, and we're working closely with our partners to address those areas, and the city of Socorro has done its very best to try to address that. There's also some new areas as well, and as this monsoon season continues through September, we're doing our very best to fortify arroyos and to fortify certain areas to make sure that at least this year, that the damage that we saw occur doesn't occur again. And so I just want you to know that our crews in the city, Socorro Cruises, and others are working to do that as well. But we're also working towards a longer term solution as well.
And it will be a long term. This is going to take hundreds of millions of dollars and many years. Okay, our next public speaker is Mr. Pierre Andre Usaraga. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. People in the audience, good morning. El Pasoans, Texans, media, and Americans, good morning. Last week I read a list of measures related to marijuana legalization, why we should. And today I'd like to read a list of things that I've gone through that I know will continue to persist if we take these cookie cutter avenues. I'm a heterosexual, okay? I'm attracted to the opposite sex. So if I see an attracted female, I'm a single parent, single individual, I might make a move. There's media all around, cameras, there's beautiful women here, right? So when I first started speaking 4 years ago, commissioners, I went after a one news report in particular. She ran for the hills. I was like, okay, maybe I'm not as good looking as I thought. There was another young lady who I saw, who I found interested in. She ran for the hills. So that started a buzz behind the scenes here in governmental meetings because the government and the media and the public comment. It is what it is. But then I had the Child Protective Services called on me. And then I had the state of Texas put me on probation after I came up here and started speaking about the importance of legalizing. Like I was a target all of a sudden. And I understand when you're doing something important, you're going to be the target. But then to prevent any child support modification on the state's end, and then the state of Texas removes my daughter from my custody and gives the custody to the mother who happens to be married to a county sheriff deputy detective. I was also assaulted by 3 brother neighbors. All right? The cops came, no arrests were made. Then I got a letter from the district attorney saying that there was a lack of evidence. Well, this is a shirt from that night. It's covered in blood, my blood. Just pictures. And I know those photos were passed around and I was laughed at, and that's all good. I got tough skin. You can laugh at me all you want. But I take this personal. Here are the pajama pants from that night. It was in the middle of the night. And 3 guys were out there drinking alcohol, which is legal. All right? But for these crimes to happen during the time that I'm up here, I find that insulting. Then there's a community and public safety concern when there's a loss of life during a nonviolent, non-criminal marijuana transaction involving a high school classmate of mine, and ends with violent and criminal charges brought against them by the state of Texas. Both the parties and their families involved in this particular case, they are all victims. Every single one of them are victims of America's unconstitutional marijuana prohibition policy. And then adding insult to injury, we have this cookie cutter policy, which is not proprietary. I like being original. El Paso County is better than that. We can implement our own marijuana decriminalization policy. And it must include the possession of marijuana, 4 ounces or less, not just first-time offenders. First-time offenders does absolutely nothing for my case and the case of the people I just mentioned in the community. The County Commissioner's Court is responsible for repairing this apparent involvement. Mind you, there was public corruption at a county judge level. You have a hard job to do, Judge. If you work with me, you can remove those blemishes that are on the county's name. There's a county commissioner who does great work, along with all the other commissioners. If we work harder, we can, again, remove those blemishes. I'm in the same boat. I'm trying to fight and remove those blemishes on my name. But it's unconstitutional. The laws that we have in place are unconstitutional. Bill 2391, those circumstances are open. We should tangle those ourselves. Possession of marijuana 4 ounces or less. It's unconstitutional. Before I go,
Time.
I'm going to leave copies here of the protective services order that relieved me from any non-doing to my beautiful and loving daughter, who I will see soon. And then here's a letter to the DA that I wrote expressing my unhappiness and disappointment. And then before I go, here are the 2 letters, again, directed from the DA. And you all could keep the shirt and blood. There's probably a hair follicle sample on that. So you all could probably collect that off of this. And it's just a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen, before I have some live examples, some peers that are going to be next to me. Thank you for your time. Good day. God bless. Until next time.
Thank you, Mr. Usaraga. Betsy, on the clothing that he left behind and the allegation that he made, if we could forward all of that to law enforcement, please. Okay? Thank you, Mr. Usaraga, for being here. Okay, Ms. Pizzik, let's go to the item pulled from consent.
Thank you, Judge. That would be item 3H, postponed from July 24th, 2017, the quarterly report from the Housing Authority.
Thank you, Betsy.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Mr. Hernandez. Welcome.
It's nice to see you all today. And we thank you for the time that you provide so that the El Paso County Housing Authority can provide its quarterly report. We have a small presentation to aid our report. Our agenda will consist of the Family Self-Sufficiency Program, an update on that, our efforts to seek additional funding through grants, collaboration with our local law enforcement agencies, and a few words from our Commissioner, Fermin Acosta. So the County Housing Authority continues to strengthen its Family Self-Sufficiency Program by continuing to provide services to the public housing residents with help of other community partners. Recently, what you see on the screen there, on June 30th, the Texas Workforce Borderplex and Job Corps helped us host an event where tables and booths were set up to sign up families for job placement assistance, GED classes, and child care. As the school year was ending, the event permitted the opportunity to provide training and disbursements of flyers that covered topics such as how to stay hydrated, tips to avoid heat stroke because it's very hot out there, and the free nutritional lunch program. Thus far, we are grateful for Clint ISD. We partnered up with them, and they have been providing us the child nutrition program. It's a free lunch that is being provided to children between ages 1 to 18 years old. To date, the program has handed about 656 free lunches. And on a daily basis, we have an attendance of 41 children. Due to the program funding and rate of attendance, we were informed that the program will be extended for an additional 2 weeks. We anticipate that 1,148 meals will be dispersed as a result of that extension. Also, this is not on the slide, but we just got word last week, and I wanted to share this with you all. We're pleased to inform you that we will be hosting a back-to-school backpack distribution fair on Saturday, August 12th. El Paso First Inc. donated 150 backpacks, and First Light Federal Credit Union donated the school supplies such as markers, crayons, binders, dividers, scissors, and much more. Because of their generosity, though, the Housing Authority is in a position to provide a backpack with the required school supplies to all the children residing under the public housing program that will be attending elementary and middle school this starting year. So we're really happy about that. Moving on to the next topic here are grants and other funding initiatives. During the last quarter, you may remember that we shared that there's a reduction in HUD budget and how that reduction was going to affect the administering of our housing programs. With plans to expand our housing services to the county, we determined to establish an in-house department that will support our efforts to apply for grants and other funding opportunities. As we continue to improve the manner in which the Housing Authority operates, a decision was made to recruit an individual who possesses the skills and talent to serve as a strategic partner to the authority. With us today is Nicolas Muñiz, who has accepted the position, and he will come up to introduce himself and say a few words.
Thank you so much. Welcome, Mr. Muñiz.
Good morning.
And congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Good morning, Judge Escobar, Board of Commissioners. It's my distinct pleasure to be here with you this morning. My name is Nicolas Muñiz. I'm excited to have accepted the position and joined the team at the El Paso County Housing Authority. I am an El Paso native and a graduate of Cathedral High School. I attended St. Mary's University in San Antonio, where I obtained a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology with a minor in Biology. I currently hold a Master's of Science in Organizational Leadership from Our Lady of the Lake University. After graduating in 2005, I worked as a teacher at the USAA Child Development Center in San Antonio. In 2007, I began working as an outreach caseworker for Meals on Wheels of San Antonio. Later that same year, I began work as a case manager with Family Service Association, where I worked with elementary, middle school, and high school children. In 2009, I became one of the youngest education center directors for Head Start. During my 5 years as director, I was responsible for the implementation and oversight of the Head Start program in the San Antonio region at 3 different locations. In 2014, I accepted a position with the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services Child Care Licensing as a regulatory compliance generalist. In 2015, I moved to my hometown of El Paso, where I worked as a manager of operations for J. Muñiz Contractor, LLC, a family-owned small business for over 35 years. My educational and professional work experiences have prepared me to successfully implement federal grants. Our grant writing initiative at EPSHA is targeted at creating self-sustainability and improving the quality of life to the children and families we serve. The Community Block Development Grant is one of the longest-running programs of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The Ross Grant provides monies to public housing authorities that serve the elderly and disabled. Grants through the United States Department of Agriculture will create opportunities to promote healthy living within the community. As we move forward with our grant writing initiatives, we look forward to building relationships with community stakeholders and serving as strategic partners with the El Paso County Board of Commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Also, Commissioners, we wanted to share with you that our Housing Authority understands that we are responsible for the living environment and the welfare of our residents. That it is up to us to address any disturbance or crime that we have experienced recently within our communities, and who better than to partner up than that of the El Paso Sheriff's Office and the San Elizario Marshal's Office. For the past several months, they have provided training and education to our residents during the monthly resident meetings. They have addressed issues, concerns regarding break into vehicles, family violence, or gang-related activities. They have communicated their vehicle patrol strategies with our residents that, as a result, increase the level of security within the neighborhood. Now, with us today is Deputy Lara, a face and name that has become very familiar with our office, the resident committee, and program participants. He'll say a few words.
Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Judge, Commissioners, how you doing? My name is Deputy Jose Lara, and I work for the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. I am the community-oriented police officer for the Clint Patrol Station. There's one in every station, as Chief Leon would probably recognize as a PAR officer. We deal with community issues, and this is a great example partnering up with the local community as far as helping them out with any of their needs. Glad to be on board, and I hope we can make things better for the residents of the county.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Deputy.
Another thing that I wanted to add that we've recently established is a hearing process. So when we look at program integrity and verifying that our residents are being treated objectively, the Sheriff's Office and the Marshals have stepped in to help us with that. And to finish up our report here, we have Fermin Acosta, one of our commissioners.
Good morning, Commissioner Acosta.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. I just want to applaud each and every one of you for appointing the volunteers to the EPSHA board. It has been a pleasure to work with each and every one of them, and thanks to them, I think you can feel safely that the Housing Authority is working very, very well. So I applaud you guys for appointing all these great, unselfish volunteers that are not there to pad their resumes. They're there to support our community. And so I applaud you and wish you all a nice day. Thank you all very much.
Commissioner, thank you for your public service, for your volunteerism on that very important board. And it's true, as soon as we appointed the new board members, there was a tremendous turnaround. You all brought in Mr. Hernandez, who has done a great job. He's kept us in the loop every step of the way, but it would not have happened without the volunteer leadership from commissioners such as yourself. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you being here and your presentation. Have a wonderful day.
Could we please have a motion to accept the report?
So move.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Bettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 5, presentation. 5A, receive a presentation from the Precinct 3 Summer Scholars regarding community infrastructure.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Jose Londeros with the Office of Commissioner Perez. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for the on behalf of the interns in our office this summer who are going to be presenting the results of their summer research. The aim of the internship that we offered this summer was to task the college-age interns with researching the infrastructure needs of Precinct 3, something that has been a top priority on the county strategic plan in our previous fiscal year. And so we're lucky enough to have a very talented pool of interns who are able to do this. The goal of this, obviously, is to further develop research and writing skills, but also through their outreach to different entities and organizations, including elected officials and various governmental entities, obviously allows them the chance to develop leadership skills and professional skills. So with that, I will turn it over to Daryl, who will start the presentation for the group.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I'd like to say good morning to Judge Escobar as well as Commissioners Court today. Thank you very much for taking the time to observe our presentation. Understanding Unincorporated, a quick look at the infrastructure of Precinct 3 in El Paso County. I'd like to start off with a quick introduction of who we are, starting off with Mr. Steven Hinojosa, who is a former alum of the University of North Texas and a current graduate student at Texas State. He's right here. And when we have Miss Evelyn Ortiz right here, she is a current student at the University of Texas, and Miss Ivana Sanchez, who is currently at Texas A&M, as well as myself. I'm Daryl Shuckett. I'm a Texas A&M alum.
It's nice to meet you all.
Yeah, thank you. We've been around. I guess we're going to start off with a quick overview of our work this summer, starting with a couple geographic locations within Precinct 3. El Paso County, it's made up of multiple municipalities and specifically 8 census-designated places. We're going to provide a demographic comparison of everyone living there, mostly, and we're going to assess the infrastructure they deal with on a daily basis, and finally, we're going to conclude and recommend actions going forward for Commissioners Court.
We'd like to acknowledge these districts, these offices who have helped us come up with this information all throughout the summer. They've been really helpful in just implementing all of it. So thank you to them. We're going to start off by looking at the geographic locations within Precinct 3. Starting with El Paso County as a whole, El Paso County has an area of 1,015 square miles and a 2015 population of around 835,000. And then we're going to transfer to an area that is roughly over half of El Paso County, Precinct 3 itself. Precinct 3 is made up of around five municipalities, including El Paso City, the city of Socorro, the town of Horizon City, the city of San Nelly, and the town of Clint, with around 8 unincorporated areas, with an area, like I said, over half of El Paso County, with a 557 square mileage of area, and a 2010 population of 189,530. Quick definition of what a municipality is simply a political unit that has powers of self-government. That's the ones I just mentioned. The city of El Paso is in Precinct 3. It has an area of 256 square miles and a 2015 population of around 676,000. The city of Socorro, which is our second largest home rule, with an area of 22 square miles and a 2015 population of 32,877. The town of Horizon City, which is our second oldest municipality, with an area of 8.726 square miles and a 2015 population of 18,981. The city of San Nelly, with an area of 7.8 square miles and a 2015 population of just over 9,000. The town of Clint, which is largely agricultural, and it has an area of 2 square miles and a 2015 population of just over 1,000. And a quick definition of census-designated places, which a lot of Precinct 3 is. It's just an area defined by the Census Bureau for the sake of information dealing with demographics. We have 8 of them, starting with our furthest east, which is Tornillo, with an area of 3.398 square miles and a 2015 population of almost 1,500. We have Fabens with an area of 4.348 square miles and a 2015 population of almost 8,000. We have Morning Glory, which is our smallest in area. It has an area of 1.81 or 081 square miles and a 2015 population of around 420. We have San Nelly. The CDP includes the city of San Nelly, and its area is just over 10 square miles, and a 2015 population of 14,360. We have the area just south of Horizon, known as Sparks, with an area of close to 1.5 miles squared and a 2015 population of 3,900, which is growing. We have Agua Dulce, with an area of 7.799 square miles and a 2015 population of 3,000, also growing. We have the Homestead Meadows North area with an area of 15 miles squared and a 2015 population of 4,500. And then the Homestead Meadows South area, otherwise known as Montana Vista, with an area of 3.629 square miles and a 2015 population of 5,811. We're going to provide a quick view of community demographics by my colleague, Stephen.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Stephen Hinojosa, and I'll be going over the demographic data for Precinct 3 and discussing the growth trends and opportunities possible within the community, ranging in both residential and economic areas throughout the years of 2000 through 2015. So just to give a general overview, we'll begin with the population to get an overview of certain areas that are changing within those 15 years. We see 4 areas here that are changing significantly. For example, we see Horizon City with a percentage change of 262%, Socorro at 21%, Agua Dulce at 296%, and Sparks at 33%. So significant changes comparing to the city of El Paso at 20% and the state of Texas at 32%, which ultimately these areas may need serious infrastructure assessment due to their forecasted growth. Moving on to age, we studied this to go into depth as to the people we'll be impacting. Overall, El Paso and the state of Texas sit well within an early 30s average. However, this is not the case for Precinct 3, as the entire unincorporated sit well within their mid-20s. We believe this not to be due to necessarily a large amount of 25-year-olds residing in the area, but we believe it to be a large amount of children, which may be pushing the average down. This makes a strong case for parks, sidewalks to destinations such as schools, and general road safety for the area, as we'll discuss later. Moving on to unemployment, unfortunately, much of the precinct experiences a higher percentage than the city of El Paso and the state of Texas. However, based on our growth records, there are areas that are showing significant declination, such as Clint, declining at 3% over those 15 years, Horizon City at 4.4%, Socorro at 2.7%, and Homestead Meadows South at 1.4%. For business, this makes a second case for general growth, and expectancy to continue is projected as the city of El Paso continues to move eastward. Transitioning into a complementing slide of income, we see a same general consensus where we see the CDP not necessarily meeting the standards just yet, but showing relevant percentage changes with an inflation rate taken into account throughout all these numbers. For example, we see Socorro at 63%, we see a booming there, Agua Dulce at 37%, Homestead Meadows South at 82%, and Tornillo at 73% increase in per capita income over those 15 years. Moving on to commute times, we see that El Paso and the state of Texas fall anywhere from 25 to 27 minutes. For the precinct and the CDP, this is not the case, as these areas experience well over half an hour for a one-way trip to work, including an outlier here in Morning Glory at over an hour, which may be due to its geographic isolation within the precinct. However, we expect these numbers to remain where they are or to decrease as businesses continue to move in. There are already some steady areas such as Montana Vista, the Montana Vista area, as well as Agua Dulce. Another factor in commuting may actually be walking to work rather than driving, which may be prevalent based on the income basis that we have seen. Now, in terms of educational attainment, we see areas such as Socorro, we see Morning Glory, Sparks, and Tornillo showing large percentage increases over these 15 years, making a case for underlying necessity for road and sidewalk infrastructure to and from primary education schools in the area, and a priority for parks for probable extracurricular motives these young students and teachers alike may have, such as clubs, organized gatherings, and things we take for granted here in the city of El Paso. So to summarize, we're looking at a larger and younger family size in Precinct 3 and a lower per capita income. However, like I said, we see growth percentages higher and steady with the average of El Paso and the state of Texas. Declining unemployment rates and faster growth in certain areas such as Horizon City and Socorro, which ultimately affects Agua Dulce and Sparks since they're close in proximity. And finally, see steady education attainment. All of this is expected to grow within a positive forecast. However, we need to make necessary changes now or risk this area not being prepped for further incoming changes from the city pushing eastward and being hindered from growth with infrastructure damages as we have seen in these past 2 weeks. We need to be proactive in this approach and in this assessment, which my colleague Evelyn will go over with you now on infrastructure assessment.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners Court. My name is Evelyn Ortiz, and I will be going over the assessment of infrastructure and amenities. Okay, so the first thing that I'll be going over is the water service. So fundamentals like this are essentials that most of the city of El Paso, and myself included, take for granted. Actually, the interns and I, neither of us are from the Precinct 3. So looking at all of the services that lack in this area was a definite learning experience. So when looking at the water service, here we see that there is still a great lack, and it's important due to reasons of comfort and health. The table here shows the number of unserved individuals that lack water and wastewater services, and although 7 of the 8 unincorporated areas contain water services, Homestead Meadows North remains with a population of 59 unserviced. The column to the right shows us that there's still a lot of work to be done, with only Sparks being fully serviced and Homestead Meadows North and South totaling almost 12,000 unserved residents. Now moving on to another essential part of daily lives is having heat in your home and the ability to cook with greater facilitation. So the way we obtained the estimated population was by defining the number of unserved roads and multiplying that by the number of homes. Identifying the number of unserved roads and multiplying the number of homes by the average household size to find the population and the percentages here. So Agua Dulce has an 18.8% of unserved individuals, which would total about 550 people, followed by Homestead Meadows North, which has a percentage of 32.5, totaling about 1,400 people. Sparks having 5%, which is about 200 people, and Tornillo being 100% unserved, totaling about 1,600 people, with a total estimated population of about 4,000. So as you can see here, allowing these residents to have the gas line services would benefit them not only by making their lives easier and providing a safer environment, but it would reduce their expenses by almost half. When looking at the average cost of natural gas per month, you can see that it's about $53, and the average cost per year being about $530, while the cost of propane is almost twice the amount, more than twice the amount, averaging about $120 per month and anywhere from $1,300 to $1,700 per year. Of course, there are seasonal price adjustments, but the differences are quite notable. Okay, so moving on, part of safety includes everyone being able to travel from one distance to another with illumination, whether it's to school or to another person's home, the park or work. Everyone should be able to feel safe in their own neighborhood. And so here this table showcases the existing and the proposed streetlights, as well as the average distances between them. As we can see, the ones with the highest number of distance between them are Homestead Meadows North and South, which would be the ones that are lacking the most. As we can see, compared to the city of El Paso, says that there can be no more than 300 feet between the streetlights. But when comparing that to the county standards, it says that the urbanized area is no more than 600 feet between the streetlights. So this means that there are still about 404 streetlights needed in the precinct to adhere to county policy, which would total a cost of about $445,000. I think it's important to note that Homestead Meadows North, as well as Morning Glory and Tornillo, are all 9 urbanized areas, and Tornillo is actually almost at the county standard. It's at 666, with the county standard being 600. So I think it'd be important to go back and possibly change that, due to growth and change that is coming our way. Okay, so this next slide shows the existing streetlights in each of the unincorporated areas. So for this, the proposal that we have is to go back and replace the lights and turn them into LED lights. The cost of replacement per street light would be about $1,150. This would be beneficial because it consumes a third of energy to illuminate, and in the long run, it would be better for the county due to the fact that the lifespan is about 20 years versus the HP sodium, which is what we have now, which only lasts about 5 years. And the total cost of this would approximate about $457,000. Okay, so moving on to sidewalks, which is another important part of safe travel, which Stephen mentioned earlier. There's also a great lack of this throughout the 8 areas. And so for this, we went ahead and used the GIS to measure the yards of unpaved sidewalk, which is a geographic information system database, as well as satellite imagery. Followed by this, we went ahead and conducted a field assessment to spot check the areas that we had already measured to verify that our estimates were as accurate as possible. Also to go ahead and note the number of ADA compliant ramps that would need to be installed. Okay, so the table shows that Homestead Meadows North and Homestead Meadows South would be the ones having the highest cost. The cost of square yard of sidewalk is $47, while the cost of an ADA compliant ramp is $1,400. And so, which leaves Homestead Meadows North needing about $7 million and Homestead Meadows South needing a little over $8 million. And although the almost $29 million is a high cost, we went ahead and prioritized. So priority 1 would be the corridor connectivity to defined neighborhood centers, which would include the parks, the schools, and the more commercialized areas, which is where people would need to get to and from most frequently. And priority 2 would be connectivity from residential to major corridors. So for priority 1, the total cost would be brought down by a significant amount, which would be for about $4 million, and the priority 2 would be about $2.8 million. So that is definitely doable, and it's much of a greater difference. Okay, so moving on to parks, Ivana will go ahead and review that.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners Court. My name is Ivana Sanchez. I am a research intern with Precinct 3, and I'm going to be going over the last part of the presentation with you guys. So we're going to start off with parks. And the way that we started off that part of the project was that we came up with a grading rubric that we would evaluate the parks that we looked at on a 5-star scale. And so what it looked at was 10 amenities that you see there, and it assessed those amenities on 4 factors, which was existence, appeal, function, and the condition when it came to deterioration. We looked at El Paso City Parks, and we saw an average rating of 4.2. And we also looked at the El Paso County Parks within Precinct 3, and we saw an average rating of 2.9. The 8 city parks that we looked at were randomly picked, and each one represented a different district within the city. And as you can see by this table, we have a perfect scoring park, Marty Robbins, with a 5, and no park really goes below a 3.5. Pictured here is Marty Robbins, the 5-star park, and as you can see, all of the amenities there are present and functional, appealing. Even the park is appealing, and it's similar to that of Esmeralda Park. The amenities there are also functional and appealing, and no sign of deterioration. The only reason why this park was rated a little lower than those of the other ones in the table was because some amenities like the sports court, picnic tables, and grills weren't present. In comparison, we have the table for the El Paso County parks. We do have a perfect scoring park for Agua Dulce, and that has to do with the recent renovations that this park has undergone in the past year. However, you can see that there's some parks that don't even reach a 1-star on the scale. It is worthy to mention that there are 8 total county neighborhood parks within within the county. 6 of those are within the Precinct 3, and 2 of those are in Precinct 4. Also worthy to mention that San Elizario Plaza isn't actually a park, so we had to kind of amend the scale for that due to obvious reasons. But here we have the 5-star park for the El Paso County, and with all its recent additions and amenities, and then we compare it to one of the lowest rated parks in that table, and you can see that a lot of amenities are missing. The park itself doesn't really seem appealing or functional. And we go on into the stormwater enforcement, an issue that we've been seeing a lot in the past couple weeks. And so here, this slide, it talks about the authority that the county has presently when it comes to stormwater enforcement. And so the first bullet talks about subdivisions required to have water, wastewater service, and drainage for the lots that they encompass. The second bullet references the county subdivision order of 2007, which says basically that any lot identified within the floodplain by FEMA needs to pond their own water. However, this does not include those properties and lots that are not identified within the floodplain but also do contribute to flooding. And the third bullet talks about the TCQ area permit, which basically says that any lot that it has a 1 acre or more in an urban area must pond their own water. It is important to note that the county did not have this authority before. However, we have seen the problem grow in the past 21 years. We haven't seen an increase of arroyos from 9 to 40. And so this has contributed to a lot of flooding and mudslide problems that we've seen in the past couple weeks. And for example, Coker Road had to undergo an emergency evacuation. There were 17 to 20 residents living there, 6 of which were children, 7 elderly, and 1 with an oxygen tank, and they had to be evacuated due to the conditions that the rain was causing. And this is another example of an area that we see in the greater Clint area have been having problems. And some of the problems that we as a county were having was that we had limited crew and personnel to send out to these places. And so it was difficult to respond to all the people who needed help. And the questions that were being raised were where do we send crews and who needs it the most, which are difficult questions to answer. So that brings us to our conclusions and recommendations. We conclude that Precinct 3 makes up more than half of the county, and the majority of it is unincorporated areas. These CDPs are growing in some exponential rates, and we have seen El Paso is moving eastward due to the largest percent of annexations we see in Precinct 3. And so the utilities and infrastructure that we see in these areas aren't really fit to handle the population that they have now, and they're not going to be fit to handle the population that we're going to see, the influx that we're going to see in the later years. So like my colleagues have said, proactivity when it comes to these areas are best. As far as recommendations, we recommend that the 2010 County Stormwater Master Plan should be updated, as well as the 2007 County Flood Order should be expanded to include those areas that are contributing to flooding but are not within the floodplain. And also establishment of partnerships with the municipal organizations would be beneficial, as well as with the utility agencies for water purposes and stormwater purposes water purposes, wastewater purposes, and stormwater purposes for El Paso Water, as well as the natural gas service. When it comes to the residential streetlights, the current policy needs to be amended to include Tornillo because it is close to being an urban area, and we should finalize a 4-year plan to install approximately the 400 missing streetlights, as well as the county should develop a 10-year plan to replace all of the old streetlights with the new LED fixtures that would be beneficial. And similar assessments should be made with the unincorporated areas of Precinct 1 and Precinct 4, as well as the budget needs to reflect the growing demand that we are going to see in these unincorporated areas. The court should consider dedicating certain percentage of the annual CIP to these needed infrastructure amenities. And when it comes to sidewalks, for priority 1, we estimated a cost of $4.1 million, and the remaining streetlights needed come out to an estimated cost of $444,000. And in terms of parks, investments should be made to maintain and improve county-maintained parks, and they should meet the standard of city parks because we believe that the court should adopt at least a minimum of a 3-star rating. And the two parks that the two parks that needed the most come out to an estimated cost of $600,000. And the total estimated cost for all improvements would come out to around $5.2 million. But if we were to include the priority 2 sidewalks and also the improvements made to make the parks a 5-star rating, it would come out to an estimated $7.8 million. So at this time, we would be happy to answer any questions that you guys might have, and we would like to thank you guys for listening to our presentation.
Can we have a round of applause, please, for their really outstanding work? Well, congratulations on such a really great and succinct, but also comprehensive analysis of the needs of the precinct. How long have you all been working on this? I mean, you're right, Mr. Shuckett, I've kind of seen you guys around, but I didn't know when you started. I didn't know what you were doing. When did you start?
We started at the beginning of June.
Okay, wow, that's great. And I'm curious, are all 4 of you interested in government or public policy, or do you have different, are your majors different?
That's really interesting because all of our majors are completely different, and they're not government related, but I'll let each one of us talk.
Yeah, none of us are in the government spectrum, but I think Jose mentioned that that would be a benefit to our project. You know.
Yeah. So what are your majors?
I'm an English major.
Oh my God, I was an English major. And I ended up in government.
I'm a communications major.
Economics.
Marketing.
Drought. Well, yeah, no, absolutely. The different areas of talent and skill and knowledge that you all bring really help shape public policy. You know, something interesting, and I don't mean to hog the microphone, but oh my gosh, I love what you've done, and
Thank you.
More importantly, I love what you represent. You represent our future. You know, I hope all 4 of you come back to El Paso and bring your talent and your skill and everything you've learned and take on leadership positions here and help carve out a better future, which is, something that all of us have tried to do, but we've just lost so much talent over the years, so many young people, that it's heartening to see you all caring about the community and bringing forward your recommendations and your ideas. But it's so funny, as I was listening to your presentation, one of the things that came to my mind was a very early community scholars project, one of the first that I became aware of in the early 2000s, about colonias and about growth in the unincorporated areas, and that it was a result of lack of access to affordable housing. And so we see, I almost feel like the fact that as a community we haven't had that conversation, we continue to drive people to areas where there's no infrastructure. And then governments struggle to kind of catch up, and then people who need access to affordable housing sometimes end up in worse conditions because of the lack of access to jobs, to transportation, to education, and really to the clusters of people that help create opportunity. And so one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and Commissioners, I had a conversation with Paso about this recently. We really, as a community, need to start thinking more about affordable housing. We need a community plan. The central core has been losing population, and it's draining, and people are searching for access to affordable housing in areas that are we will never catch up with the demand or the need. I mean, it's just, we don't have the resources as a tax base. And then I was talking to a friend who has studied this very much over the years, who told me that our property valuation has been dropping, and sprawl is a part of that. And so we're contributing to this problem by not solving what may be the root cause, which is the need for affordable housing. So maybe you all can help us fix it and come up with some brilliant suggestions on that. But thank you so much. It was such great work, really impressive.
Thank you.
Commissioner Pettis?
Very briefly, I just want to say just how proud I am of all of them, and they cumulatively put in 1,300 hours, volunteer hours, for the county. I think all of them learned a lot about the county and what we do here as an organization, and know a lot more about the community. Judge, as you know, the county judge was previously the executive director of Community Scholars, and this program is sort of modeled after the goals and intents of that, was to give students the opportunity to learn about our community, and perhaps looking at research and things, and understand a lot of the problems that a lot of people are unaware of. It's I think some of you all mentioned that you had never been to some parts of the precinct, and it was really an eye-opening experience. But I want to thank them for their hard work. They rehearsed this to several times to get in time, to be a timely presentation for the court. And I just have a small token of appreciation for each one of them. And if you all want to come step up one by one, Daryl. I just want to say Daryl held down 2 other jobs in addition to this internship, and he's currently, he graduated recently, so if there's anybody out there looking for a great job, I highly recommend him, and so I just want to say thanks so much to Victor Stephen Hinojosa, also a recent graduate, is going to be pursuing a master's degree this fall. Also very proud of him. Hopefully, if he comes back to El Paso again, give him the highest recommendation anybody. and he also, as a marketing major, he designed the logo. We try to give all the interns an opportunity to pursue something within their interests. So thank you for that. Evelyn Ortiz, rising sophomore at UT, still undecided with what she wants to do, but we hope there are opportunities here in El Paso for her once she graduates, and we just really appreciate it. And Miriam Ivana Sanchez, I heard who just got her job offer, correct? And so a recent graduate. She's unfortunately outside of El Paso, but hopefully there's opportunities, that for soon after. Okay.
And Sophia Larkin Appleby, my successor at Community Scholars is here.
Yes. So we, yeah, no. Oh, no, we, so Sophia Larkin Appleby was my boss, and even though my current employer and supervisors in front of me, I will say one of the most amazing bosses, if not the most amazing boss. I'm second only you, Commissioner, of course, right? But we actually were lucky enough to have the scholars or the interns meet with her as well. So we wanted to thank you for that. And I mean, it's very much a throwback to the goals of community scholars, which is what makes it so exciting. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Great.
Yay. Thank you guys. Excellent job.
And the report will be made available to all the offices and will also be available online for anyone who's interested.
Item 5B, receive a presentation on the UTEP scholarship recipients of the county's Fund for Excellence Scholarship Program and acknowledge those recipients in attendance.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. This is a morning filled with education and accomplishments. So this morning, we're very proud to honor the selected county scholars for your County Fund for Excellence Scholarship Program. In 2002, together with the University of Texas at El Paso, an endowment was established to fund a total of 10 scholarships for eligible students residing in the El Paso community. This fund was a result of the Sun Bowl Stadium transfer upon termination of a previous lease agreement between the county and the Board of Regents. Scholarship funding began in the fall semester of 2002 and honored the existing presidential scholarship guidelines as recognized by UTEP. These stipulate that the student must meet at least 2 of the following requirements: top 3% of a high school graduating class, high school average of 96 or better on a 100-point scale, 1220 plus on their SAT or 27 plus on their ACT scores, and evidence of exceptional leadership abilities and achievements. The 10 scholarships shall be divided among the county, allowing 2 scholarships per precinct as recognized by the county commissioner and the county judge. The scholarship will be renewable each year so long as the students maintain the scholarship requirements. Since the inception of this program, the county has assisted a total of 47 students in the pursuit of a college degree. I'd like to thank Ms. Elizabeth Dodd from UTEP and Ms. Luz Rojas from my office for their coordination on this remarkable project. And this morning, I'm pleased to have each commissioner and the county judge present the scholars for their respective areas for the 2017 through 2018 academic year. And Commissioner Leon, if you'll do us the honor and start us off.
Well, thank you very much. It's an exciting morning. I get to speak about Lorena Mejorado. Who's Lorena? Congratulations, and I'm just going to read a small bio about where you're at, where you've been. Lorena Mejorado graduated 3rd in her class at Eastwood High School. During her time at Eastwood High School, Lorena had several leadership roles: Student Council, International Liberal Arts Club, and Astronomy Club, to name a few. She accumulated over 50 hours of community service in civic engagements, participated in 7 school programs, and received 5 awards. Lorena is now a junior at UTEP, and she is pursuing a degree in biological sciences with a concentration in biomedical science. Congratulations to Lorena Mejorado. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So the first recipient in my precinct, he was unable to make it, but his family is here to receive the certificate in his place, and his name is Eric Dominguez. Eric Dominguez graduated first in his class at Irvin High School. During his time at Irving High School, he had several leadership roles on the student council, class of 2016 officers, and the National Honor Society. He accumulated over 160 hours of community service and several civic engagements. He participated in 11 school programs and received 8 awards. He's now a senior at UTEP pursuing a degree in mechanical engineering with a minor in biomedical engineering and chemistry. He's out of town at an internship at UT Arlington, and so that's why his family's here. So everybody please, round of applause for Mr. Dominguez. And then Miss Alarcon, we've seen her before here. This is her, I think, your 3rd or 4th year?
Yeah, 4th.
4th year, last year. Okay, good. So Stephanie Alarcon graduated 5th in her class from Austin High School. During her time at Austin, she had several leadership roles in the French Club and in the National Honor Society. She accumulated over 100 hours of community service in several civic engagements and participated in 4 school programs and received 2 awards. She is now a senior at UTEP, pursuing a degree in biological sciences with a concentration in biomedical science. So congratulations once again, Stephanie. You've made us very proud. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I have the privilege of introducing Jessica Garcia. Jessica graduated 2nd in her class at Mountain View High School. During her time at Mountain View, Jessica had several leadership roles in the National Honor Society, the Hispanic Honor Society, and volleyball, just to name a few. She accumulated over 500 hours of community service in several civic engagements, participated in 8 school programs, and received 7 awards. She's now a junior at UTEP and is pursuing a degree in forensic science with a concentration in forensic biology. We congratulate you for all your hard work. Next, I have the privilege of introducing Ms. Brianna Candelaria. Brianna graduated from Eastlake High School, and during her time at Eastlake High School, she had several leadership roles in the Eastlake Marching Band. She accumulated over 1,200 hours of community service in several civic engagements, participated in 2 school programs, and received 6 awards. She's now a sophomore at UTEP, pursuing a degree in microbiology. Congratulations, Brianna, for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Well, I got to say, it's an honor to give this award, but after reading the requirements, I would not have been able to receive it. So it's a little intimidating to be in front of these extremely educated people. First, Brianna Arellano. Brianna Arellano graduated from Cañutillo High School in 2016. During her time at Cañutillo High School, Brianna was the captain of the volleyball team. She accumulated over 160 hours of community service in several civic engagements, participated in 2 school programs, and received 4 awards. Brianna is now a junior at UTEP, and she is pursuing a degree in biological sciences. Congratulations, Brianna. Alondra Sierra. Alondra Sierra graduated 1st in her class from Northwest Early College High School and completed her associate's degree from El Paso Community College before she graduated from high school in 2016. Alondra has had several leadership roles: Class Student Council, National Honor Society, and National Association of Student Council, to name a few. She accumulated over 300 hours of community service in several civic engagements, participated in 10 school programs, and received 2 awards. After 1 year, Alondra is already a senior at UTEP, pursuing a degree in biological sciences with a concentration in biometrical science. Congratulations, Alondra Sierra.
And this is so great. Just to each and every one of you, thank you for working so hard. And it's wonderful to see so many young people here who represent our greatest hope, basically, for El Paso. That's what you represent. Okay, Kay Gamboa. Hi, Kay. Kay Gamboa graduated 1st in her class from J.M. Hanks High School. During her time at Hanks, Kay had several leadership roles: Silver Knights Marching Band, Knight Honor Band, and DECA District 10, to name a few. She accumulated over 300 hours of community service in several civic engagements. She participated in 6 school programs and received 8 awards. Kay is a senior at UTEP, pursuing a degree in accounting. Congratulations, Kay Gamboa.
Thank you.
Angelica Quiñones. Hi, Angelica.
Hello.
Angelica Quiñones graduated 6th in her class from Parkland High School. During her time at Parkland High School, Angelica had several leadership roles, student council and chemistry club, to name a few. She accumulated over 100 hours of community service in several civic engagements, participated in 9 school programs, and received 4 awards. Angelica is a junior at UTEP, pursuing a degree in cellular and molecular biochemistry. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now we'd love to shake your hand if y'all will come up this way and give you a little gift.
You must be very proud.
Congratulations. Thanks for all your hard work.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Did you get one? All right, there you go.
Thank you.
There's more.
I think these are the last 2, Commissioner, right here.
Oh.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Best wishes to all of you and congratulations. We really appreciate everything you do. I'm sorry?
Oh.
Sure.
So sorry.
she had that look on her face.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Huh?
Thank you. I love all the female representation. So maybe we do 2 rows. Those who are taller in the back.
You want to switch me? No, wait. You don't have any on your toes. Luckily, we have no idea.
Congratulations, everybody. Oh, nice. Have a great day. Thanks for being here.
Board appointments, item 7, postponed from July 24th and July 31st, 2017. Approve the reappointment of Commissioner Vincent Perez appointee Catherine Hairston to the Housing Authority Board for the term beginning May 15th, 2017 through May 14th, 2019.
Move to approve.
Second. Well, there went our audience.
Yeah.
Still have Maria.
Item 7 has been read into the record.
I made a motion and Commissioner Haggerty second.
Thank you. I didn't hear. Thank you. To approve, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leone?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Commissioners Court, item 8, approve and authorize the county judge to execute the local transportation project advance funding agreement and accompanying resolution with the Texas Department of Transportation for the Isleta, Socorro, and San Elizario Circulator Route CSJ 0924-06555 in the total amount of $1,225,411. The item has been reviewed and approved by the County Attorney's Office, contract number 2017-0498.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. I don't know if you want to read the second item into the record.
Item 9, approve and authorize the county judge to execute the local transportation project advance funding agreement and accompanying resolution with the Texas Department of Transportation for the El Paso County Van Pool Program, CSJ 0924-06556, in the total amount of $1,922,400. The item has been reviewed and approved by the County Attorney's Office. Contract number 2017-0499.
Morning, Judge and Commissioners. Jose Landeros with the Office of Commissioner Perez. These items are coming to you because back in May, the court approved staff to submit project request forms to the Paso MPO for both the Van Pool program and the Route 50 circulator transit service. We requested those funds, and the policy board at the MPO approved those funds back in June. And so it's been a really quick turnaround. After that, the Texas Transportation Commission had to review it, approve it. Now that they've done that, TxDOT has generated this agreement and are sending it back to us. The reason why there's a rush on this is because we need to ensure that this contract is executed by the end of the month, because this project and these funds are in fiscal year 17, which TxDOT's fiscal year ends at the end of this month in August. Unlike ours ends, we have until September, obviously. But as such, TxDOT has asked that we turn around these agreements as quickly as possible. So sort of, I think TxDOT's getting used to significant cooperation from the county on these agreements. As you recall, a few weeks ago, we had a similar agreement, but that was for the SIB loan. We definitely want to thank the county administration, the county attorney's office, Public Works, and the county clerk's office for their assistance in getting the item on in such a rush and reviewing it. It is a standard agreement, but we were still emailing back and forth with TxDOT on Friday to ensure that we had everything up to date. The auditor's office has raised a question about the contract. Previous agreements like this for these projects did not require a match, although that is not typical given the funding source. It should have required a match. So we are going to work with TxDOT to ensure that if a match is necessary, that we provide that, and if not, we can always come back and amend this agreement in the future. But again, the priority right now is ensuring that the county and TxDOT sign this agreement before the end of the month to ensure that we let the project in fiscal year 17.
Okay, thank you so much, Jose. Any questions, commissioners? Commissioner Haggerty?
I understand what you're saying. I have a problem with it seems like over and over and over again, anything that comes out of Commissioner Perez's office comes out Friday night, Saturday, to be voted on Monday. It's leading me to, it is not giving us a lot of time to review, a lot of time to check stuff out, especially when we're talking about matches with $1 million. I understand that the rush is going on, but it seems like a pattern is developing out of this office. And it's frustrating where every time an agenda item on there, we don't get the information until Friday, Saturday, and expecting a multi-million-dollar vote on Monday.
Sure. And I appreciate that, Commissioner. I will remind the court that the court approved the submission of both projects in the amounts, including the match amounts, back in May. So the court has been aware of this since May. These are just the actual agreements that are being executed between the county and between TxDOT.
Okay, Commissioners, any other questions? Commissioner, Wally. Commissioner Hardgrove?
Thanks, Judge. nice birthday gift. Respectfully declined.
You're going to give it back by the end of the day.
Yeah.
You're not going to want it.
Commissioner for the day, awesome. Jose, correct me if I'm wrong, we do need to make a temporary allocation from within our grant match in the general fund to cover the portion of the year that starts during FY17, about $85,000?
Yes, that is correct.
Until the grant awards or the funding awards actually come in?
Right. So back before the submission was presented to the Commissioners Court in May, Sal and myself met with each of your offices, met with each of you to discuss the grants, and that there were funds that were drying up for the Van Pool program, and that the county would need to provide funding, would need to provide funding to cover the period between the time that the funds ran out and the time that this new contract is executed, which also makes the rush of this project important. It is important to note that these funds will go towards the county's match of 20%, and so that was also, again, presented to the commissioners and to the judge's office back in May, late April, before we actually brought this item to the Commissioners Court.
So I would just ask that the court include in its motion to consider these items an allocation and approval of up to $85,000 from within our general administrative grant match budget to cover that interim expense.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. Is there a motion for these two items?
Move to approve.
Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leone?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion
Thank you,
carried.
Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Auditor, item 10. Pursuant to the Texas Government Code Title 10, Section 2256.003, please accept the attached investment report for the 3 quarters and 9 months ended June 30th, 2017.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Jim Utterback, Manager for Cash Management and Debt Service. As we go through our highlights, we have our as of June, we had ad valorem taxes of $174 million compared to the prior year, June of $170 million for a $3.9 million or 2.32% increase. We had sales tax as of June 30th of $30,571,000 compared to $30,064,000 for June of last year, which is an increase of $507,000 or 1.69%. Our interest rates still continue at historical lows, but are starting to pick up. The Fed in June 14th increased the Fed funds rate by 25 basis points. It's now between 1% and 1.25%. Interest rates have continued with our tax pool prime are running very close to averages with the other pools. We include MBI Texas class as a comparison for tax pool prime. And we include International Bank to show where our interest rates are from there. This is a comparison of our portfolio to the benchmark of the 90-day Treasury bill. As you can see from this graph, we are now into our declining funds period. We have invested more and more into taxable prime to get us the greatest yield that we can at this time. General fund, it shows our decrease from our peak of $167 million in February to our current of $129 million at the end of June. Debt service, we had our payment in February, which brings it down from a peak that we had of $15 million in January. We have, as of June 30th, $5 million, which will cover our debt service payments for August and September. Capital projects, we've invested more into tax pool prime, and we are slowly eating away at our balances there as we complete projects. We have our investments. As gain of the year was book value of $170 million. At the end of June, we have $222 million, which is an increase of $52 million. We have cash and investments total. Interest earned of just over $1 million compared to last year where we had an earnings of $422,000, which is a 146% increase compared to last year. Our average rate of return on investment is 0.6407%. General fund cash had our low point of $7.4 million on November 14th of 16. This is just another look at where our funds are and our distribution. With 58% in general fund, 18% in capital projects, and the rest in the other funds. Questions?
Thank you so much. Commissioners, any questions? Commissioner?
Have we yet explored, I mean, any other potential vehicles, I guess, as we look at our investment policy? I know we've discussed this before in looking at other investment vehicles that might perhaps yield a higher rate of return on some of the county's investments?
Yes, with our depository contract, which was INB, they have associated with Frost Bank for our safekeeping services because INB does not provide safekeeping services for investments. That process is right now with county attorneys on the contract, and I am waiting for the contract to be approved by them so it can be presented to Commissioner's Court. We also have sent out our investment policy to the brokers and dealers. We have received back 9 replies on that, and we are in the process of reviewing their records.
Okay. So
Commissioner,
they'll,
if I may too. So this is a project we're working on. We discussed this on June 12th, and we're doing some research. Commissioner Hardgrove for the day and Mr. Dion are doing some research on the other counties because I know you had mentioned, and then we also did some research where other counties are using multiple investment firms or brokers to assist and help increase their returns. So we're looking at who's doing what and how much are they getting returns to try to establish a best practice for ourselves to start looking at the ways we manage our investments.
Okay. And so do we currently have an active bid out or
No, sir.
In the process?
No, sir. We don't have an active bid. What we're doing right now is researching how the other counties are managing their investments, who all is doing it in a diversified way, a more diversified way, and what types of returns they're getting to see what method is producing better returns and also to find out like what the policies and the, I guess, guidelines, parameters are so that we can model a best practice and present to you all for consideration. We did that we discussed that. You all asked us to on June 12th. We hope to have something back by now, but our first attempt to gather that information produced very minimal response. And so now we're having to actually almost open records request it from each of I don't think we're having to do it everywhere with open records, but we're getting better responses back, the method we're using now to find out what's being done and what their policies are. So it's taking us a little longer than we hoped, but we are working on it.
And we are Edward Young County Auditor. We are working in collaboration with the purchasing agent to see if she can find us the specifications and the results of their bid for this type of service. But I'll tell you, historically, when rates were high, we always had a safekeeping agreement. We always did government agencies and securities. And as you can see right now, with the Fed raising the rates, that the portfolio, we're showing agencies and treasuries going a little bit higher than what we're currently yielding. So as soon as we get that contract approved, we will be putting more effort and initiative to get out there in agency securities, U.S. government agency securities at a higher rate and trying to put money out further. But we are working in collaboration with county administration and budget and policy, and we want to make sure that we bring something to you that it's a good packet. It's a proposal that's been vetted out in other counties, and we want to make sure that the cost-benefit analysis also is evaluated at that time.
Okay, any other questions? All right, do we have a motion to accept this report?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout? Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Judiciary and Corrections, item 11, approve and authorize the county judge to sign the first amended interlocal cooperation contract for psychiatric services between El Paso County on behalf of the El Paso County Juvenile Probation Department and Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center at El Paso, pursuant to the authority granted in compliance with the provisions of the Interlocal Cooperation Act. See Texas Government Code, Chapter 791, et sec. The term of this contract is from August 15, 2017 through August 31st, 2018. It shall automatically renew for successive 2-year terms unless terminated by either party. There are 3 funding sources for this contract: GFJPD, Prof, SVC, Gen, SR, JPD, SUP, PROF, SVC, GEN, and Texas Juvenile Justice Department Mental Health Services Contract 2018, TJJD. This agreement has been reviewed and approved as to form by the county attorney, contract number 2017-0450.
Good morning.
Good morning. Kim Shimate on behalf of Chief Martinez with the Juvenile Probation Department, asking for your approval to amend our current interlocal agreement with Texas Tech. The amendment will actually incorporate or include psychological services to be provided by a licensed psychologist and or postdoctorate fellow.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions or a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion
Thank you.
carries. Public Works, item 12. Discuss and take appropriate action for a variance request from the County of El Paso subdivision regulations for Brothers subdivision.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Norma Palacios, Public Works Department. The developer or property owner of this lot is requesting a variance since the frontage is less than 1/3 of the length of the lot. Public Works has reviewed it and is recommending approval.
Okay, Commissioners, any questions? No? All right, is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 13, discuss and take appropriate action on the 2017 paving program and funding.
Norma Palacios, good morning again. Norma Palacios, Public Works Department. This morning, we're going to address the 2016 paving priorities as well as the 2017 paving priorities that were identified and brought to the court on October 31st of 2016. During that Commissioners Court meeting, the following 4 items were approved by the court. The court delayed the paving of the of the 2016 road paving program and combining the fiscal year 2017 with the 2016 road priorities as a single project. Additionally, the request that the purchasing agent notify the vendors, because this project was already approved and the bids were awarded to the vendors. So we requested that the vendors hold the prices for the 2016 priority list. Additionally, the procurement solicitation that allows for a comparison of best options for paving in-house versus the contracting the services out. So the way the 2017 paving program was bidded out was different options to allow the vendors to provide input and make a real comparison to see which works better for the county, which one's more cost effective. Based on that documentation and data that we received, we will propose that the single and double penetration type of paving be done in-house because we get the best buck for our money. And the other one was a pilot project using recycled materials. We're prepared and have identified a road in which we can use recycled materials. Part of the road would be overlaid using the recycled materials, and the other section would be used virgin materials or regular materials so that we can really do a comparison of what works best for the county, either recycled or the virgin materials. So based on that, I have developed, along with Fernando Hernandez, who is joining me this morning, he's the county engineer. We have developed this paving budget and paving options. Currently, we have $2.8 million in our paving budget. And with that budget, we can do 75% of the paving, the 2016 paving project that was approved by the court. If we supplement that budget using other road and bridge funds, we can get to approximately $3.75 million. And that will allow us to do 88% of the paving, the 2016 paving priorities. Please keep in mind that when this was presented to the court in 2016, this is a larger paving project that we had done in the past. And the reason for that is we were trying to pave all roads that had been identified as part of the priority, but that we were not able to identify due to deficiencies in the materials in 2015. So that's why we don't reach our goal of 100%, even in adding additional road and bridge funds. Now, option 3 is if the court will allocate additional funding, the additional amount that we need is 1.5. That will allow us to complete the 2016 paving project 100% and do some of the 2017 priority list, which would be the regular, the overlay, and some of the recycled material project. We can also accomplish the fog seal, which is something new that we're proposing to the court. This will allow us to work with our new roads and spray this material on our new roads where we see cracks. That will give it additional life. And so this is a product that's used by the city. We don't use it, but we feel that it would really benefit the community as a whole, and will give it an additional life expectancy of anywhere from 3 to 5 additional years to the new roads. So we wouldn't have to worry about that at this point, since we have so much more. Option 4 would allow us to do, of course, to do additional work on the 2017 priority list that we had identified last year.
The funds for option 3 and option 4 would be proposed to come from our one-time $4 million capital outlay.
At this point, I'd like to request direction from the court, either to proceed with the 2016 paving priority list using option 1 or option 2 of the ones that I had mentioned previously. If we proceed with the 2016 paving priorities, we can move forward now since those have been awarded. We're ready to move. We would just issue POs and move forward. Or the next option is proceed with both 2016, 2017 paving priorities using option 3 or 4. Public Works is recommending option 4, but at a minimum, option 3 that will allow us to complete the 2016 paving priorities at 100%. And also that we get an opportunity to do the recycled project and the overlay that we had proposed.
Okay. Commissioners, do y'all have any questions? Commissioner Leon?
Norma, during our budget hearings, I asked you if we go out to bid for the paving projects that we had, and you told me we do it all in-house. But I've come to find out that we do, in fact, bid some of these projects out. Is that correct?
That's correct. I'm sorry, sir. There must have been some miscommunication. What we typically used to do in-house was a single and double penetration, always bid out for materials and the overlay. We don't have the capability of doing overlay.
Why didn't you tell me that? Because I'm not a paving expert, but that's why I ask questions.
I'm sorry. I must have misunderstood.
We had a constituent call my office this last week, asking about a contract that was awarded back in January to JAR Concrete, I think it is. He called your office to find out what's the status, and you all never got back to him, thus causing him to call my office. But it was a smaller bid, I think about $145,000. If it was bid out in January, here we are in August, and nothing's been done.
Commissioner, if I may? On that's the one that Norma's talking about. We could start immediately. And purchasing has contacted JAR to confirm that they would still honor those prices and to let them know where we are at this point. And, I mean, of course, when we had an active bid for the current year, we were not allowed to contact or speak directly to any vendor. They all had to be referred to purchasing.
When they make those calls, why not tell them that, I understand Mr. Lopez, George Lopez was nice enough to call them, but when they contact our office, why not tell them that?
We should, yes, sir, I agree. We should refer them to purchasing.
And I'm not sure who took the call, but usually that's how we do this. We usually refer them to the purchasing department because we're not allowed to talk to them. And I will follow up on that. Like I mentioned at the initial presentation, these items had been awarded to JAR Construction, and it was just pending that we review the 2017 with the 2016 to see what the best option would be, either to bid out everything, including single and double penetration and overlay, so to see what would benefit the county the most, either for us to do partial or them to do the entire project. And that's why it was bid out this way. The 2017.
Okay, thank you. But it takes that long for the county to react?
No, this was awarded since then, but at that point in October, the court asked that we hold off and do a true comparison. We were saying, the Public Works Department was saying that we could pave for less money than if we bid it out. And so the court wanted to see those figures. And it did show, when we received the bids, it shows that the county, Public Works, can do the single and double penetration for less money than if we bid it out and contract that work.
If I may also, what happened last year, I don't know if you recall, but there was a lot of issues with our paving bid last year. We received a lot of, I don't know that they were official protest, but we had public comment during the bid awards that caused us several times. We went back and reevaluated the bid award and how it was bid. That was when I believe Mr. Job had come in and told us his concerns. And so even after that, prior to us rebidding this, I met with both Mr. Job and, remind me the gentleman's name from JAR?
Mr. Rosales.
Mr. Rosales. I met with Mr. Job, and then I met with Mr. Rosales, and a couple additional members from Mr. Rosales' company regarding, they wanted to talk to us about recycled materials and about us being open to recycled materials. By that point in the year, by the time we brought back the information last October, which there were concerns with our information, it was basically too late to pave. You don't pave during certain weather. So this year, when we went to rebid it, when we initially tried to put together the bid, which was a very complicated bid, it was unusual because we were trying to compare if you only get to do materials, if you get to do the work and supply materials, if you provide recycling versus not just virgin material, what are the different costs? So we initially tried to put the bid package together internally, and we submitted it to purchasing. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but Deborah actually came back and said there was ways we could structure it better to produce what we wanted. And so she helped us go back and restructure the bid package so that we can see all the different options on the ways that it could be bid to get the true price comparison for the cost of doing it in-house versus contracting all of the work out, the single and double penetration that we normally do in-house. And so when we did that and the bid was finally let, it took us longer than we expected. And so when it was finally let, we received the bid, which was awarded. It's on for award today. And so that's where we're at, and that's what's taken us a little bit longer this year.
There was a lot of conflicting information that Mr. Rosales gave my office. It doesn't agree with what you just said, but nevertheless, I think the important thing is that we keep our vendors in the loop of what we're doing. I appreciate Mr. Lopez giving him a call, but when they do ask you something and you cannot answer it, or for whatever reason, you need to direct those vendors to the right information, or the person that knows what they're talking about. This is what's going to happen in your case. because he was led to believe that the contract was apparently canceled. Then he was told that it wasn't. But like I said, I wasn't privy to that conversation, so I don't know. But it is important that we keep our vendors up to date. And everything else I can discuss in private with you, but I appreciate your answers.
Okay, so you need direction. Your recommendation is option 4. We have the funding.
Go back to the options, the slide with the options.
We have the funding for option 4?
Yes, ma'am. It would come from the one-time $4 million capital allocation. This would use, if you go with option 4, it would use $3 million of that. We've used approximately about another $270,000 of it for the interlocal on the Fabens Veterans Park. It would leave, and I'm estimating around $700,000 in that one-time fund.
Okay, and we're not sacrificing something else in order, we're not pulling from that fund at the expense of something else we had planned?
There is not another project you have allocated that plan to, that funding to yet.
Thank you, Betsy. Commissioners, is everybody okay with the recommendation of option 4?
And just regarding the timeline, so it is able to be complete for this paving season?
Yes, sir, because we can go ahead and start issuing POs, and if we need additional, and I think Deborah can speak to this, but if we need additional materials, we could go ahead and do that also through the supplemental of a bid.
Okay. All right. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve option 4.
Is there a second? I'll second.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Purchasing, item 14, postponed from July 17th, 2017 and July 31st, 2017. Award of bid number 17021, Desert Acceptance Square Dance Wastewater Collection System to Danny Sander Construction Incorporated from El Paso for $4,548,255. The necessary contract documents will be submitted to Commissioners Court at a later date for consideration and action. Funding is available in account EP Square Dance Waste Construction. Purchasing approved on July 5th, 2017. The Assistant County Attorney, Christina Sanchez, has requested that this item be deleted, please.
Okay. Do we have a motion to do so?
So move.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Bless you. Bless you.
Commissioner, God bless you. Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye, and thank you.
Motion carries. Item 15, approve and authorize utilizing the interlocal cooperative agreement with the City of El Paso, solicitation 2017-576, Cisco proprietary VoIP, telephony and network infrastructure Department of Information Technology Services, awarded to Sigma Technology Solutions Incorporated for the purchase of network equipment for the infrastructure enhanced system and forest migration. Purchasing approved on August 1st, 2017. Funding is available in account CP Capital 16D Cap Out It Equip.
Good morning.
Good morning, Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. We're requesting approval of use of this particular co-op, and VoIP is Voice over Internet Protocol, basically. Our IT department will be able to use the City of El Paso's cooperative contract to get the equipment needed for this service. So this is just approval of use of the cooperative itself.
Okay, thank you so much. Commissioners, any questions or a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
And was that a second from Commissioner Pettis?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 16, award of bid number 17022, 2017 paving program for the County of El Paso to Delmar Contracting Incorporated in the estimated amount of $292,470. Funds are available in account SRRB Road Resurfacing. Purchasing approved on August 1st, 2017.
Good morning, Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. This is the award that would cover the 2017 identified roadways Norma Palacios just spoke about. That being the case, I did want to go ahead and explain that of this award that you're approving, 1 mile is going to be designated, approximately 1 mile, for recycled materials. So of the entire award, 73,000 plus or minus will be for that recycled road so that Public Works can observe it over the next year, and then we'll know how to move when we go out for the bid at the appropriate timeline in 2018. There's also going to be the award of fog seal, and that's going to be $60,000 of the award. The rest of the award is for the regular paving as discussed in Norma's presentation.
Thank you so much, Deborah. Commissioners, any questions or a motion? Commissioner Leon?
Ms. Carrejo, the bid goes out, it's awarded, but I see the word estimated amount.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, in this case, we wanted to give the county some flexibility based on what happened in 2016. If you notice, it says in the bid packet itself, we put up to a certain amount. This means it's more like an annual requirements contract, which means the county can do what it needs to do within the budget it needs to do. The vendor is not expecting a set amount, and the county can't be penalized either way for it. That's the estimated amount. If it were to go over that, or if the county decided to go further, there would be approvals asked at various points.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis? Aye. Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 17, approve and authorize the award for playground equipment for Fabens Veterans Park using the buy board contract 512-16 awarded to Lee Park and Play in the amount of $107,595.53 and authorize the purchasing agent to issue a purchase order. Purchasing approved on August 1st, 2017. Funding is available in account Gadming Cap Out Equip.
Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. Approving this award through the buy board contract allows us to be responsive to beginning really soon getting that park in. The $107,000, $107,595 basically covers not only the equipment, but the installation and the warranty. And so you're basically getting a turnkey operation for this price.
Thank you so much. Any questions or a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Was that Commissioner Leon seconding?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Commissioners, we need a motion to reconsider item 12. I'll move to reconsider item 12. Can we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries.
We failed to hold a public hearing before taking this vote, and so can we have a motion to enter into a public hearing on this?
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the Commissioners Court on this item during public comment? Hearing none, can we have a motion to exit the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And should we take the vote again now that we've, yes?
Yes, please do.
Okay, do
Yes.
we have a motion to approve the variance?
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leone?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item under Budget and Finance, item 19, approve amendment number 40 to the County of El Paso's 2016-2017 operating budget. This budgetary amendment will increase grants by $1,593,471.40, thus increasing the overall budget of $401,431,077.29 to $403,024,548.69.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Wally Hargrove from Budget and Fiscal Policy. Within our enterprise fund, it's a transfer within the Square Dance sewer loan, reducing construction by $16,334, setting up the bond issuance cost of $16,334 as permitted by the grant guidelines. East Montana Water transferring $11,090 out of equipment into professional services general. This is to cover the cost of professional services related to line replacement. Let me get the notes really fast. I had some more detail on that. It's hiring a consultant to perform an investigation and prepare construction documents to repair the service line. Within general fund, transferring out of council judge's administration jury fee account, $257, $212 going into books and publication under the 388th, and $45 going into office expense of the 448. Also within the general fund, several transfers within the sheriff's department, transferring fringe benefits over to the vested benefits category within the sheriff jail annex and sheriff patrol to cover vested benefits for outgoing staff. Sheriff CID enforcement transferring $24,000 out of ops equipment into the equipment line item to purchase 2 video recording systems, consistent with the policy with your budget amendments. Sheriff law enforcement transferring $24,174 out of ops equipment into equipment for the purchase of DVD recording systems. That's all your general fund budget amendments. Within special revenue grants, setting up the transfer in for the Colonia Self-Help Center 2015, $305,294, all in operating expense as approved by the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs. Federal grant awarded for West Texas HIDTA Intelligence Unit 2017 grant in the amount of $346,723. Salary and fringe benefits make up the lion's share of that grant. Small operating accounts for budgets. Largest budgets in there are rentals, leases, software for $10,000, data communications for $9,000, and contracted services for $43,994. Setting up the budget as awarded from federal government, $54,340 for the West Texas Border Corruption 2017 grant, covering salary and fringe benefit, small amount for operating, most notably gas and oil supply and rental and lease of vehicles used in the grant. Setting up the budget for scrap metal 2017, federal grant $5,000, covering overtime. Setting up the budget for the federal grant, $179,842 for the Enterprise Money Laundering 2017 grant, salary and fringe benefits only. Setting up the budget, federal grant, $163,235 for the El Paso Multi-Agency Task Force 2017, covering salaries and fringe benefit and a small amount for gas, oil supplies. Setting up the budget in the amount of $104,986, federal grant, West Texas HIDTA Transportation Task Force. This is increasing the budget as awarded by the granting agency, most of which is going into salaries and fringe benefits. Small portion going into gas and oil supplies, $2,349. Setting up a $211,954 budget for West Texas Anti-Smuggling Initiative 2017, all for salary and fringe, almost all for salary and fringe benefits, a small amount going into gas, oil supplies, and communications general. Budget for Source City Metro Narcotics Task Force 2017, federal grant $46,174 from the High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area grant. Salary and fringe benefits, a small amount going into gas and oil supplies, rentals and leases for vehicles. Setting up the federal grant, $26,594, West Texas HIDTA Training Program 2017, all for employee training. setting up the grant for $139,329, the TJJD Juvenile Justice Alternative to Education 2017 grant, all for professional services. That concludes this week's budget amendment. Would ask for your favorable consideration.
Any questions or a motion?
Move to approve.
Commissioner?
Perhaps we should have at budget, perhaps an aggregate look at budget transfers for the year as we go through budget. But regarding some of the transfers of appropriations to cover the costs of vested benefits up to year's end, unless I'm recalling incorrectly, didn't we already transfer out vested benefits at some point? Unless I'm reading this wrong too. Didn't we transfer out funds from the vested benefits account earlier in previous budget amendments?
I'll have to check. I don't recall off the top of my head, but I will go ahead and prepare for this week's hearings a summary of those transfers from vested benefits for discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions or a motion?
We have a motion to approve from Commissioner Hagerty, but no second.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Hagerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Commissioners Court will now recess into executive session to discuss items 20A through 20D pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071. The court will reconvene to take official action.
County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, 1331 North Fabens Street, Fabens, Texas 79838. Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, 191 Canutillo Avenue, Canutillo, Texas 79835. Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, 14698 Band Lane, El Paso, Texas 79938.
District Attorney Jaime Esparza invites you to join the annual 10-mile walk across El Paso to commemorate victims of crime. The walk is Sunday, October 1st, and begins at the El Paso County's Courthouse, 7 a.m. and ends at Yucca Park. For registration and more information, call 915-546-2091 or visit www.epcounty.com/walk.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048. Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Danny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched a prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings! Financial Recovery is a division under the Budget and Fiscal Policy Department. The Financial Recovery Division regains monies from those who have exhausted resources throughout the judicial process. The authorization for the recovery of spent resources is by court order. These are resources initially funded by taxpayers. Financial Recovery Division's goal is to assist in making the county and taxpayers whole by replenishing funds into the budget to optimize services to the public. For more information, please visit the El Paso County website. As a reminder from the Information Technology Department, please don't save critical or sensitive data on your desktop. Instead, best practices is to save your data to your user-allocated home drive. This drive has safeguards preventing data loss. Again, this is an information technology-friendly reminder.
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the purchasing department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus through public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, 1331 North Fabens Street, Fabens, Texas 79838. Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, 191 Canutillo Avenue, Canutillo, Texas 79835. Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, 14698 Band Lane, El Paso, Texas 79938.
District Attorney Jaime Esparza invites you to join the annual 10-mile walk across El Paso to commemorate victims of crime. The walk is Sunday, October 1st, and begins at the El Paso County's Courthouse, 7 a.m. and ends at Yucca Park. For registration and more information, call 915-546-2091 or visit www.epcounty.com/walk.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048. Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Denny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
The 346th District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119 or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched the prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings! Financial Recovery is a division under the Budget and Fiscal Policy Department. The Financial Recovery Division regains monies from those who have exhausted resources throughout the judicial process. The authorization for the recovery of spent resources is by court order. These are resources initially funded by taxpayers. Financial Recovery Division's goal is to assist in making the county and taxpayers whole by replenishing funds into the budget to optimize services to the public. For more information, please visit the El Paso County website. As a reminder from the Information Technology Department, please don't save critical or sensitive data on your desktop. Instead, best practices is to save your data to your user-allocated home drive. This drive has safeguards preventing data loss. Again, this is an information technology-friendly reminder.
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the Purchasing Department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus through public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, 1331 North Fabens Street, Fabens, Texas 79838. Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, 191 Canutillo Avenue, Canutillo, Texas 79835. Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, 14698 Van Lane, El Paso, Texas 79938.
District Attorney Jaime Esparza invites you to join the annual 10-mile walk across El Paso to commemorate victims of crime. The walk is Sunday, October 1st, and begins at the El Paso County's Courthouse, 7 a.m. and ends at Yucca Park. For registration and more information, call 915-546-2091 or visit www.epcounty.com/walk.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048. Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Danny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
The 346th District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barrid started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched a prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings! Financial Recovery is a division under the Budget and Fiscal Policy Department. The Financial Recovery Division regains monies from those who have exhausted resources throughout the judicial process. The authorization for the recovery of spent resources is by court order. These are resources initially funded by taxpayers. Financial Recovery Division's goal is to assist in making the county and taxpayers whole by replenishing funds into the budget to optimize services to the public. For more information, please visit the El Paso County website. As a reminder from the Information Technology Department, please don't save critical or sensitive data on your desktop. Instead, best practices is to save your data to your user-allocated home drive. This drive has safeguards preventing data loss. Again, this is an information technology-friendly reminder.
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the purchasing department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus through public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
Thank you. Commissioners' Court has reconvened into regular open session. Item 21, discuss and take appropriate action on pending litigation styled Rosa P. Duran versus County of El Paso, Texas, cause number 2017 DCV 0285. County Attorney's file number 002517 LD.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. The requested action today is a motion to approve and authorize the county judge to sign the settlement and release of all claims agreement with Rosa P. Duran as negotiated by the county attorney's office.
Thank you, Selena. Any questions or a motion to do so?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Escobar?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 22, discuss the status of and take action on the pending litigation regarding the sports park renovation project. County Attorney's file number LC 13062. No action on this item.
Thank you, Ms. Pietzig. That's it for today. We're adjourned.